1968, the Wyoming Territory was created by the U.S. government. July 10, 1890, Wyoming became the 44th U.S. state. Now, I've been pretty lucky. I've been coming out here to Wyoming for the last 6 years, able to work on an actual working ranch on the eastern side of the Wyoming and South Dakota border, bordering the Blackhills. Wyoming and the Black Hills Territory is known famously for the bucking bronco, the wild rodeos, and the cowboy and horsemanship of the West. Famous towns like Deadwood, South Dakota, Lead, Cheyenne, Wyoming, brought cowboys, wranglers, people looking for new fortunes, and of course, outlaws. The name of the game was who had the quickest draw? Guys like Wild Bill Hickok, who became legends. The cattle industry is the backbone of agriculture in Wyoming and one of the state's most important economic sectors. Ranching has been the central Wyoming's identity since the late 1800s and still dominates rural economies today. The Black Hills Expedition of 1874 was a U.S. Army mission led by George Armstead Custer into the Black Hills. Officially, it was described as a reconnaissance mission, but it became famous for confirming gold in the Black Hills, which triggered the Black Hills Gold Rush. It has been confirmed by historians that indeed the Custer expedition did go through the ranch that we currently work at today. No matter if it's a farm ranch, there's always work to be done. Heading out to the ranch this past weekend, we checked out all the storm damage that happened back in December when there was 90-mile-an-hour winds in the eastern side of the state. Job one, repair the barn door, get it back up. You're the guy that fixed this.
I don't want any evidence.
You're the guy who fixed it. Now, antelope will generally roam this part of the state on a very frequent basis. However, it's been such a dry and very mild winter here in Wyoming that the antelope will head north much quicker. So it's rare to see them on the fields this time in February. So as I stated before, we came out to the ranch basically to do maintenance, make sure the buildings were taken care of, roofs were secured from all that high-pressured wind, and then we also had to work on the ranch horses, which we'll get to here shortly. Now, right now, the ranch doesn't have any of the cattle. The cattle winter actually in South Dakota to the north, where it's a little bit milder and not as harsh on the cattle to be there. So it's a good time to get a lot of things done before they come back here around Memorial Day weekend. Now, these cattle belong to the neighbor. We're heading out to check on the ranch horses, and it's calving season out in Wyoming. Calving season usually starts at the end of February and generally can run through the whole month of March, a little bit into April. So we're stopping by, checking out the new calves, and saying hi to the neighbors. As I had stated before, the cattle industry definitely is the backbone of Wyoming's agriculture, as one of the most important parts of the state's economy, culture, and land management. Beef cattle are Wyoming's number one agricultural product, and cattle production accounts for over half of the state's agricultural revenue. Wyoming typically has about 1.2 million head of cattle, which is more than twice the number of people living in the state. Economic activity from the cattle ranching includes, of course, livestock auctions, trucking and livestock transport, feed and hay production, veterinarians and equipment dealers, and meat processing and marketing. All these businesses depend on the cattle industry. Now, generally the ranch that I work at, the horses are kept there during the summer months, so spring, summer, and fall. During the winter time, though, the horses are wintered over at the neighbor's property, where he looks after them, gives them fresh water and hay. Now, some of the bigger differences with ranch horses compared to maybe stabling horses in the Midwest or other areas of the country. Ranch horses, they get put out to pasture. That's where they live. That's what they know. So the ranch horses have been out to pasture for the last, 4 months since we've been there and before they got their last hoofs trimmed. So today we're rounding them up with using a four-wheeler to get the horses closer over to where we are, where the farrier then can work on all the hoofs to make sure that they're trimmed and well taken care of. Now, as you can imagine, horses have been replaced quite a bit by vehicles and four-wheelers, but there's definitely still a place for horses to be used on a ranch. These particular horses here, 5 of them, are used several times during the course of the year to drive cattle from different places or cattle drives. Now, as you can imagine, these horses are not having a ton of interaction with humans during the last couple of months. So, of course, they're going to be a little bit skittish, right? Kind of like, hey, what's going on here? So, some grain, a bucket of grain helps entice them a little bit to bring them over so we can go ahead and put the halters on them. My good friend Tony here, who is the farrier, who's from Wisconsin as well. This is who I come out to the ranch with. He's definitely a good horseman. He knows how to be around them. He knows how to read the horses, very comfortable around them. Myself, on the other hand, I'm mostly around the horses when I'm out at the ranch. So I usually take good instruction from him in any way I can help him out. But definitely will tell you that working around the horses is one of the things that I most enjoy being out there.
Got it.
Smart man.
Got it?
Yes, sir. Now, after being out there for about 5 or 6 years, I definitely like to ask a ton of questions to Tony and try to find out as much as I can about horses in general. I don't have horses at home. He's been around horses for a very long period of time. But one of the things that I've learned from him is the condition of the horses. And you can kind of tell here they have their winter coats on them right now. But you don't see any rib cages, which means they're eating well, they're healthy, they're drinking water. They're in pretty darn good shape for the winter. Of course, as we're there, it's in the low 50s at this time, which is a good temperature to be able to work on them. But you notice we're keeping very calm, slow movements, not to startle the horses so they take off. This is actually pretty good. Generally, in the past, we've chased horses around the pasture to try to put halters on them to get the hoofs trimmed. So we're doing pretty good here at this point. And you have to remember, these horses are pasturing on hundreds of acres. Hundreds of acres of land is where these horses are pasturing. This is not like in a 3-acre fenced-in area that the horses are generally staying in.
Get off of him. the trailer. You bring those other 3 with you.
Yep.
All right, Michelle.
Today, joining us out there is the ranch owner, Michelle, who went out there and rounded up all the horses on the 4-wheeler. We're going to assist Tony by holding the horses. He'll take one at a time and make sure that all the horses' hoofs are trimmed properly so that the horses have a great gait and stays healthy and ready to go when we come back here in a little bit over a month for the roundup.
But I'm happy we got them all caught together. And do I need to move the 4-wheeler?
Good job wrangling. Does you still have that extra knife on your person?
Yes.
You want me to hold a few something more?
I think you're where you are right now. I'll start with her. You okay there, Michelle?
Okay.
Fun.
So we want the bucket emptied and then I'll collect the...
After all the horses' hoofs have been trimmed, they're all well fed and taken care of. They all got a little bit more of a snack out of the bucket. It's time to pick up all of the hoof trimmings, get all the halters put away, get the 4-wheeler loaded up, and we'll start heading her back to the ranch.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Might be asking yourself, why are you picking up all those trimmings? Well, Michelle wants to be a good neighbor. This is a neighbor's property that they keep the horses in the wintertime. Definitely think it's a very neighborly thing to do. So we went around, picked up all the horse trimmings. Generally, animals like to eat these. There's good calcium in them, and they usually don't last too long out there. But again, just a good neighborly thing to do. Pick up all the horse trimmings, throw it in the back of the truck, get everything loaded up, and head back.
back?
Thanks.
Pretty good timing there, young man. I picked him up,
Fantastic.
except for that one and that one. No.
Here's the mother.
But you got the good,
Yeah.
big one.
Should I keep those close to life?
Yeah. Now, I've generally tried to explain to people when you're out here working on the ranch, you're constantly doing something. Breakfast is early in the morning, getting up, well-fed breakfast, cup of coffee, and you're heading out working. But when lunchtime rolls around, you're back in for lunch, something to eat, warming up a little bit, and you're back out in the afternoon. Generally until about sun goes down, then you're in for dinner. But you're constantly got something to do, that's for sure. Your downtime is pretty much your transportation from one location to the next, since you got so much area to cover. That's your break time. But standing around watching what's going on, that was a good excuse for in year one. Going into year 6, I know it needs to get done and getting taken care of. Good?
Yep.
Here, I can grab that. You can take a seat.
You've been standing all
Oh,
the
that's
time.
okay. I'm fine with that. That's the other thing about being out west, in particular Wyoming, is that chivalry and being a gentleman goes a long way. Definitely old school traditions. It's just kind of, yes, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. A lot of things that I was brought up on definitely come into play when we're out there. And again, Michelle's been gracious enough to have us out there for 6 years. Tony's been going out there for 20 plus years, and all the folks that come to the ranch to help out. They've been amazing hosts, and to allow me to go out there in that beautiful environment and to help out their ranching operations is truly a thing I'm very grateful for. Like I was saying, there were always something to do on the ranch. Today, our job was to pick up all of the broken panels and wood that's been sitting next to the main corrals for quite a few years. When the cows get put through, a lot of panels get broken off, and we're there to clean them up. Now, on our last day, we had the opportunity to actually do some shed hunting. So we took the truck from the ranch and drove up to the mountain, Green Mountain, which the ranch owns. Again, the ranch has thousands and thousands of acres of land. It's just crazy considering in the Midwest here in Wisconsin where we live, people are lucky if they have a couple hundred acres. We're talking thousands of acres here. So we're up on Green Mountain looking around, trying to check for whitetail deer, mule deer, antelope, and the elusive elk horns to see if they're going to be in the Black Hills. Absolutely gorgeous day, 60 some degrees, walking around, checking it out. We walked around for a while and I got kind of excited because I thought I saw something off in the distance, but I'm pretty sure all it was a mule deer bones from a fawn of some sort. But nevertheless, it was exciting to see something, but still no horns. We got to this really cool lookout point where you can see in the distance there India Kara, which is a mountain that was used in the Black Hills expedition by General Custer in 1874 as a lookout. As I had noted before earlier in the video about the Black Hills expedition, and just referencing Ingiakara Mountains, that was a lookout for the Custer expedition. These valleys that you see here in this video are where Custer came through with his entire army of men. Well, he had quite a few people in this expedition, which is kind of interesting to me. They had geologists, photographers, cartographers who mapped the region. He brought his band with him. He had an entire band with this expedition. That region that you're looking at currently in the distance there is part of the Black Lodge Mountains, which is then subsequently hooks up with the Black Hills as well. So just a really cool area. We're kind of mapping the earth here a little bit with the drone, looking for another roadway that we can get out off the top of the mountain top and check out some different areas for some shed hunting. world famous Buckhorn Bar and Grill. Well, it was a great day. We searched all around, didn't find any sheds, but after a while, you get a little parched being in those hills. So what do two fellas that are a little thirsty do? They stop off at the famous Buckhorn Bar and Grill. Well, that just about wraps up this adventure. You know, I get asked all the time, what do you do out there in Wyoming? You work on this ranch? And I say, yeah, pretty cool experience. And I wanted to share that a little bit in this video. Something a little different than what we normally do, but it's part of the adventures, right, of life. So until next time, hopefully you enjoyed this. Appreciate you watching. And we'll catch you another time.